Hello, everybody. Welcome to Distilled, Brewed, and Reviewed. My name is John. We're in the world famous Sippin' Den. It's the only damn place to be honest with you. On this channel, I do everything that has anything to do with alcohol and coffee. It's amazing. Check out my playlist. You'll see everything I do. Those categories are astounding, to say the least. Also, every video I do you know that I always pin the first comment because it has a link? It has a link to the place that pertains to what I'm reviewing. In this case, something different. Do you know what orange wine is? Or do you think you know what orange wine is? It's not wine made from oranges. That would be orange wine, and there is such a thing. But no, I'm talking about a category of orange wine. I'm going to explain it to you. And then we're going to taste this one. All right. It is France. 70% Chenin Blanc, 30% Malone B. Maceration, fermentation of destemmed whole cluster white wine grapes. Selling on the pomace for 150 days to create an orange hue. Wow. All right. So you take red wine, and most grapes, no matter what color of the skin, not all, but most, if you were to squeeze the juice out, would be clear. Red wine is when you take that, you press the grapes, and you leave the juice, the clear juice, in contact with the dark colored grapes. And that turns the wine the dark color. It stains it. It adds things to it. White wine, usually from white grapes, but not always, is when you, again, press the juice out of the grape, but you don't have any contact with the skin. You get that fresh taste depending on the grape, and it's a clear to lightly straw-colored wine. That's how you get white wine. Rosé wine is made several ways. It's made 4 different ways, but one of the ways you would make that is, and it's a general rule kind of, to again take the red grapes, red purple grapes, all right, press them, get the juice out, put them in contact with the skins, but not long enough to turn it the red dark purple color, just long enough to stain it pink color. Orange wine is when you take a white grape with white juice, and instead of just pressing it and then having the fresh white juice that you ferment, you leave the white clear juice in contact with the green grape, just like you would the red. And that gives it a certain style, a certain flavor, sometimes an orange or amber hue to it. But it's not necessarily about the color. It's about the way you're doing it. It's about leaving the skin, the white skin, the green, yellow skin, in contact with the juice. It's nothing new. It has been going on for thousands of years. It became popular, I don't know, 10 years ago again here. It was big in New York. I know where I live in Kentucky. Didn't get here till later. But I mean, you could have had this in Europe and Slovenia and different parts of Europe a long 1,000 years ago. So that's what it is. And the mostly dry. Sometimes they are off dry, meaning a little bit of sweet. It's been general. It's a dry style of wine. L'Une de Sens is what this is. It's about $20. It is French. Let's try it. Let's try it. So this one, it's pretty much the color of a normal white wine, but unlike a normal white wine, it might be a little darker, but it's not really orange, is it? But it's not necessarily supposed to be orange. It's supposed to be a certain style. Unlike most white wine, like I told you, that is pressed and immediately separated from the skins, this is left on the skin. And in this case, what did they say, 150 days? That's 5 months. So that gave it, this is going to have a way different flavor than one that was pressed and separated immediately. All right, so that's why. So give it a try. It's very interesting. All right, that skin imparts flavor to it. even if it doesn't change the color. Although I do think this color is a little darker, but it's not really in the red or pinkish area, is it? Or orange. Sometimes they are, sometimes they're not. But the style is always going to be different than regular white. Oh, see, now we know what the grapes are. It smells nutty. Smells like kind of fruit that's starting to ferment. I'm getting some apple, kind of like Applejack, not really brandy, but like an apple that's starting to ferment its own juices. Cantaloupe, just fermented fruit, like the fruit that's kind of going bad, but it's starting to ferment a little bit. But it's not a bad, it's not off, but that's kind of what it smells like. Just that rich and intense type smell. And kind of an almond type smell. So it's smelling interesting. It's smelling interesting. Let's give it a taste. Do an acclimation sip, then we'll give it a taste. Looking to see what they suggest the food. Don't see it. Well, to make this simple for you, if you ever drink soft drinks or soda with anything you drink soda with, you could replace with any wine, and it's going to be better. All right? If you can do soda with it, you can do any wine. And I don't mean any wine that's a bad wine. I mean any style. Red, white, it don't matter. It's going to beat the hell out of the soda. My opinion, of course. That being said, this is richer than a lot of whites. So, you know, pork, chicken, seafood, anything I'm not saying, if that's the way you like it, of course. Pork is really coming to mind with this. All right, let's really get into it's ever chilled. Acidic, nice. Really watering up my mouth. A little bit of tannin, because remember, it was in contact with the skin. Not crazy tannin, no. Even though it's 5 months. But no, but a little bit. It's adding a lot of interest to this, the tannin. It's just very ripe fruit. It's just like ripe apple, ripe melon, but real ripe. Not rotten. Kind of going rotten, but not a rotten taste. Just a rich, deep. It's got some almond, some nuttiness to it. Interesting. If you never had the orange. If I didn't say this wine's about $20. And I thought it said somewhere Vin de France. That basically means from France, table wine. So it's a French table wine designation. Could mean a lot of things. It's a general, kind of like an IG Italian wine, just what the French would drink a lot, what the Italians IG drink a lot every day with their meals. And I don't know about the French, but the Italians actually don't export a lot of that type of wine. I guess they're all sucking it down themselves. This is interesting. It's good. It is good. You know, there's what's left of it. Okay, so I want to encourage you. Go to your store, get an orange wine. It's going to be just that fact that was in contact with may not with the skins. May not have an orange hue, and it may have an amber orangey hue, color to it. But the main thing is the taste that skin imparts on the white wine that you don't get normally. You don't get normally in a white wine. try it, see what you think, and let me know in the comments if you've had it, if you're going to try it. If you're coming back to this as an old video, and hopefully I'll get the notification that you commented on it. So, I finally had it, this and that. So, thanks for being here. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. I got a couple other oranges in here. Bought about 4 or 5 of them, all right? Just want to really want to dive into it for you. All right, we'll get some good ones. This one ain't bad at all.